Hey, what's up, friends and family? So it is another beautiful day out here in Southern California, and I apologize that you're not here. But as of this recording, it is just a couple days before Halloween, and tonight's actually Game 4 of the World Series. So if you're watching this, the Dodgers have already swept the Yankees. If that's not right, do me a favor, leave a comment below, tell me I got it wrong. But I really want your comments on this anyways, because I want to know what you guys think. Am I making a big deal out of nothing? Because I think this is kind of crazy. A few months back, I don't know, it might even be more than a year, I'll have to look. A few months back, I made a video, will AI kill my snake? And the ruling, what I did was I just put in ChatGPT, hey, make me a care guide for my super dwarf reticulated python. And it turned out okay. Actually, there was a few things that were off, a few things that were missing, but ultimately I judged that if you follow the care guide exactly, you might kill your snake. It might not be enough. You might not have a perfectly healthy snake, but it could also probably live. I think maybe some companies thought that meant that AI is a good option for making care sheets for your site, because Reptile uses apparently 100% AI-based care sheets on their website. And I don't just say that. This is something I tested online. Let me show you what I mean, okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about, and you could tell me if you think this is a big deal or not. Because to me, some of the biggest concerns, and I'll test it out with Brazilian rainbow boa first, because that's something that we know about. God, I hate care sheets. Leave a comment below. Tell me if you think this is a big deal. Tell me if you like or don't like care sheets. Like and subscribe, all of that. I'm going to show you exactly the care sheet I'm talking about and show you how I can prove that it is AI generated. Because I don't think this should be up there. I think Reptile should probably take down their care sheets and write some real ones, or at least have a expert review them. Because just having a computer go up and throw out some random facts about snakes and use an AI generator to do it, it's lazy and it's irresponsible. And while I caught one error, basically we'll go over it. We'll show you that the rainbow boas are kept too hot and too dry, and just some crazy misinformation about their biology. But someone else may not catch that, and I didn't go through every care sheet. There may be a lot more other sensitive animals that you could easily kill by following these care sheets. So Reptile, do better. Check this out. Tell me if you think it's as big of a deal. Okay, so here we are. Apologize for the format. I'm recording it from my phone. It is what it is. Reptile.com. You go find the care sheets. I thought it would be under care. It's not. It's kind of weird to find. This is just more products through Redline Science, so I'm not sure what the affiliation is there, but they're selling them. Anyways, click the hamburger icon and then go by animals, search the boas, and you scroll down a little bit here, and you see there's a lot of animals. This was my first clue that it was AI, was they had so many animals. Anyways, the Brazilian rainbow boa. History facts. Brazilian rainbow boa, Epicurides centria, so they got that right. That's the big giveaway. Known for its strikingly beautiful and iridescent scales. Just a weird sentence that just screams AI to me. And then they go on and explain that first, which I thought was a weird step for a care guide, that's the first thing they mention, is that their scale structure. It's just a little bit odd, and it gave me a sense that this might have been written by AI. And there's a few other things too that I'll highlight here, and if you're reading along, feel free. But yeah, they even got the upper labial heat pits, which was awesome. I thought that was a great detail by AI to actually catch that. Not a lot of people talk about that, but again, not the most important thing to know as a beginner is that they have heat pits in their upper labial scales. But there's some interesting stuff here. Growing 20 to 25 years. Okay, yeah, that can happen. 5 to 7 feet in length. But here they say something interesting. They said they could reach lengths of up to 8 feet. I don't know if one's ever been found that big. Certainly not found, and not even seen in captivity. A 7-foot rainbow boa is a monster. But here's where we get to the dangerous stuff. A lot of the stuff is fine. The Brazil, Amazon basin, yes, but also much bigger, and also the Guyana Shield as well. So that's interesting. The Brazil, yeah, it's a lot more than just that, and most aren't even found in Brazil. They're found in Peru and Ecuador and that sort of thing too. So anyways, they're nocturnal. Yep, they got that right. Some really basic stuff here. The reproduction info was interesting. They warm up easily with consistent handling, which is just not necessarily true. It's just a weird point to put in. But I thought here, 120 to 240 days gestation is a huge differentiation, and that's not going to help anyone. And this is the dangerous part. 70 to 75 degree cool side, 80 to 85 degree warm side, that's not so bad. But 85 to 90 degree basking spot is dangerous, especially for a baby. And 70 to 80% humidity will kill a baby. It's just too hot and too dry. They need to max about 82, 83, and they need close to 100%. And I'm not mad at the enclosure sizes. They say you have a good enclosure size. The scary part for me, again, is just the humidity level, and there's no differentiation between how to keep baby snakes and adult snakes. If you're keeping a baby snake this way, you will kill it. And of course, the best substrates, won't you know it, it's Reptile. Well, I thought I'd do the same thing again for the super dwarf reticulated python, since I made a video on AI on the reticulated python. And that's the funny part, was because I was reading this, I was like, you know what? This sounds real familiar, because I used the same program to make my video, which was linked earlier here. And, you know, it's the same thing as the other one. It came down to it that ultimately the temps were just a little too high. They recommend 85 to 90 for these as well. And it's just a little too high for a super dwarf reticulated python. So let me show you what I mean when I say that this is AI generated. So I decided to look at these, again, stunningly black, lots of adverbs used. I copied all this section, and there's a website, zerogpt.com, that is really useful in exactly this sort of thing. You plug it in to see if your students are using AI to write their reports, or if Reptile is using AI to write their care guide. So I go in, copy and paste it, I plug all that in there, and now I'm going to hit detect text to go see, and boom, 100% AI GPT. And I thought, wow, 100%, that's a lot. Let me test that. So I wrote my own item from a Google Doc, the pairing of Reuben and Sriracha, which is the latest litter. And I wrote that, and I thought, well, I don't know, maybe this could be considered AI, or maybe I don't write like they do. So let me add an adverb just to be sure. I surely think that a fancy, flowery word is not enough to objectively or substantially change my mind. I was talking about the AI detector, of course. So let's hit the detect text button, and then we'll scroll down to see what the result is in just a second here. Boom, 0%. It proved it. I did a number of these to test, and a few other ChatGPT tests. They all came out the same. So anyways, thanks for checking it out. Let me know what you think. And see you in the World Series next year. Go Dodgers, 2024 champions. What's up? So then I get home and I'm checking out my snakes, and I think, where do people go? If they can't get a care sheet online, where can they get a good one? And you can't. There's a lot of information online, and I've gotten into this before. But the trick is, what you want to know is you're going to have to go to multiple sources. And I wish that wasn't the case. Listen, I wrote a 100-page care guide on Brazilian rainbow boas. I'll put a link to that in the description just in case anyone is interested in that stuff. But it's wanted to be as simple as possible, and it has to go over the steps of beginning of life to adulthood, not reproduction, because it's just a care guide. It's just for pets. And let's be honest, I don't know. I think I'm getting lucky with any of the snakes that I've bred. So I don't know if I'm ready to write that chapter yet. But keeping them, I can add that stuff in there. So where to go? There is a good source, reptiles.com. Now, I'm a fan of Reptiles. I think it's worth a read. They've got a lot of good information in there, and if you're only going to read care sheets, you should make it a part of your discussion. However, and we'll see here, Reptiles also recommends for Brazilian rainbow boas a hot spot of 86 to 90 degrees, which is great. It's actually what I get down here. Under the infrared heater like that, it does get, in the upper 80s every day. And that's fine because you've got a 4x2x2 enclosure over there, and then another 4x2x2. Yeah, the point is, an adult can get away from that. If I have a baby that's in just little 6 quarts, or here I've got 12 quart tubs basically, because there's 2 of them stacked together, they're not going to be able to get away from an 88 degree hotspot, and you put them in that and they're going to die. I have them set to, it's about 81 when it's really hot in here, like in the summer when they were born. There's some really hot days. It got up to about 83, which is about as high as you want to get it with a baby Brazilian rainbow boa. And that's the thing that's killing me, is because even Reptile doesn't make a difference between babies and adults. You just can't put a baby Brazilian rainbow boa in a 6-foot enclosure with a 90 degree hotspot and expect it to go well. You can, you'll never find it. And if you can't, there's a very good chance that the snake won't feel secure enough to eat. It's just the way it goes. Not because big enclosures are bad, but because it's a tough snake and keepers are new. That's it. So that's the frank reality of it. Don't come on here and say that Let's Talk Herps advocates for small cage sizes, because I don't. But it's good for a baby because people make mistakes, and controlling everything makes it easier. So anyways, before I get way off topic, where do you get good information? Frankly, you got to talk to somebody. I've made a video in the past about getting a mentor, and that's my favorite way to do it. When I have specific breeding questions, I ask 2 guys, and I'm so grateful for those 2 guys' help, because I would bug them a lot. And I'm really grateful for it because they were able to give me answers and direct answers to questions. We could workshop ideas. If you answer a question on Facebook, you're going to get 20 different answers, and they're going to go all kinds of different directions. But if you find someone that you like, the way that they keep, they're a good keeper, they're smart, they know what they're doing, ask them, hey, what did you do? Can I do it that way? And then learn yourself. Study the natural history of the animal, study the weather of that environment, the plant species of that environment, the rainy seasons of that environment, and try and replicate that, because ultimately that's your best bet, along with microhabitats, is natural history and just understanding and making natural landscapes that way. So it's a learning process. When you're new, you want to start at a care sheet, and that, I think, is ultimately the biggest evil of these AI generated care sheets, is that they're for new keepers, right? I wouldn't have found this looking for a care sheet for an animal, because that's not how I research how to keep them. But someone who's new, or just picked up an impulse buy at an expo, say for instance they get a baby Brazilian rainbow boa, and they're like, oh, let me get them a hot spot at 88, keep the humidity at 70%, because that's fine, and it's a little 12-inch neonate Brazilian rainbow boa that never had a meal. It's not going to eat for you, and most likely it will dry out and die under a month. So if you want to have snakes that die in under a month, use the Reptile care sheet. If not, maybe you should ask them to do better, because I'm sure a lot of new folks are coming across that, and it's going to cause problems. Let me know also, if you go through the website, was there anything else? Do they have any other care sheets that really need updating? I'd really like to know what you guys find on there too, and let them know. I'll be sending this video on to them so that they know that I'm talking about it. But I think maybe a lot of people want to hear about it. So you tell me. Anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you all to my Patreon subscribers. That's really a small community that's not really growing lately, and that's okay. I like the group that we've got, like chatting. But if you also want to join us, it's free to join. We have really good discussions, and it's a lot of one-on-one stuff, because most of those folks I've known for a minute, and I do appreciate them, because it keeps me going. If anything else, it helps keep me in other Patreon communities to meet like-minded folks. So I'm really grateful for all of you, and I'm grateful for everyone that made it this far to the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't. 80% of my viewers are actually new viewers who don't stick around and don't come back. So would love it if you make it this far, that you actually hit the subscribe button, and that way it'll be more prevalent in your feed and that sort of thing from now on. So thanks again. I'll see you next week on Let's Talk Herbs.